Next up, we have Netmobo.
Good evening. My name's Eric, and I'm here to talk to you about Netmobo. Netmobo is an application, is infrastructure as a service platform that lets mobile application developers do more with their apps. We do this by making it easy for them to manage the relationships and interactions with their end users, as well as the App Store ecosystems. We do this by aggregating data about users, catalogs, promotions, and accounts, and tying them up into sophisticated rule sets that can govern transactions. This is important because being able to interact with these objects in real time gives application developers the opportunity to create innovative features in their apps and the flexibility to monetize their apps in a variety of ways. Now, there are dozens of use cases that can be built around the Netmobo platform, but given the short amount of time here, I'd like to touch on just a few of the ways that it's being used today. So first, we're being used as a platform for virtual currency and microtransactions. We're also being used as a brand rewards loyalty system, and we're being used as a mechanism for dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing is very interesting, I think, and I'll spend a bit more time on that. The problem that many app developers have today in the current app stores is that they don't have a lot of opportunity to innovate around their pricing. Sure, they can publish a price, but that price applies to every user of their particular system. Now, specifically when it comes to in-app purchases, there's a lot more that can be done. And what Netmobo does is we allow developers to easily segment their users and then to apply specific pricing strategies to those segments. So with Netmobo, you can offer a regular price to your casual user, a more aggressive price to a power user based on their usage, and yet a completely different price, say a bundled price to a bargain hunter. Behind the scenes, what happens with Netmobo is when a user initiates an in-app purchase, the app connects to Netmobo servers. Netmobo servers determine whether there are any special pricing rules associated with this particular user at this time, and sends buying options to the app. The app displays them to the user, and only when the user decides to purchase something does the transaction get sent to the App Store. Now, it's very important to note that we are complementary to the App Store ecosystems and to the payment processors, and we view them as potential partners. Why is dynamic pricing important? Well, the psychology behind app purchasing is no different than any other buying behavior. And the ability to come up with just the right mix of price and value, and especially when it's wrapped up in a system that lets it be managed in a sane way, can only lead to higher profits. So what's in it for the developer? Well, I just mentioned the first part, which is innovation around pricing, but there's another reason that's more structural in nature. I talk to many app developers who sort of feel stuck in the App Store ecosystem they happen to be in because they are dependent on the tools that App Store provides to them, and those tools are not portable. Especially when you consider the fact that there are only a handful of App Store ecosystems, and that in the near future we'll be surrounded by many devices spanning many industries in every country across the world. The picture that paints for the average app developer is one of chaos. Netmobo solves that chaos. Our solution gives them a centralized repository from which they can interact with their users as well as with all of the App Store ecosystems equally. When you combine that with the as-a-service business model, which means no money up front and quick time to market, the result is bliss. Thank you.